Hello, it is I once more Death Screen Guy, aka Domasp. I have many secret combinations up my sleeve. To access them, simply click on my grayscale being and insert a specific sequence of letters. If it's under my approval, you will be granted the Elite Bowl Knowledge achievement, alongside a glimpse of something that not many players would stumble upon. I have spoke my piece. Enjoy the videotape and make sure to hit the subscriber button. Farewell.
Mind. First. This. How quick? More. More blood. The mind.
Football!
Hey, it's me, Gary from Nullscape. Looks like you found my secret. My little secret death audio. And for that, I wanted to tell you a story. A very old story that I really hold near and dear to my heart. You know, once upon a time, there was this troll, right? And a goat. A wise old goat. A wise old goat. And every day when the goat could go to gather his food, his hay, or whatever goats eat, he would have to cross this bridge, right? And this bridge lived a troll. A cunning troll lived on or under this bridge, and every day when the goat would try to cross the troll's bridge, the troll would drop him and hit him and ask for 10 shillings to pass. And that's how you know it's an old story, because he uses shillings. And every day this goat would pay up 10 shillings, and every day the troll would be happy that he'd taken 10 shillings from this poor innocent old goat. And you know, this goat lived a difficult life, a tough life. You know, these shillings adds up in old society, of course. It wasn't modern. But anyways, where am I? I'm sidetracking already. So where was I? Right. Troll. Don't mind that voice crack. Mind wipe. He would be robbed. It was a tough life. And you know, one day this little old goat, he got sick of it. So as he was crossing the bridge as normal, he stopped the troll. The troll says, "Hey, hang on. What's going?" Oh no, sorry. He says, "You've disrespected me by stopping me here. Now I want 15 shillings instead of the usual 10. And he let out a laugh so disastrous that it would wake up neighbors miles away. And, you know, of course this goat was barely making it by as is, you know, 10 shillings. Again, old times, that's a lot of money. So, obviously this was detrimental to that goat's well-being. This goat was caught aghast. 15 shillings? I can't afford to pay this burden. Will I ever be able to buy food for myself? Please, troll. You have to settle down your deals, okay? It's gotta be 10. I can't do 15. But this troll was a very greedy individual. You know, no. I want 15 shillings, else you'll never be able to eat your food again. Wailed out this disastrous troll. And this goat let out a scream. This is inhumane. You can't starve someone, or I guess some goat, for monetary gain. He didn't say, I guess, I was just adding that in. Whatever. The troll didn't care, and plucked at his little old troll mustache, because he wanted his money no matter the cost. And this goat was terrified, finally yelled out, Fine, I'll pay you 15 shillings. Don't hurt me, you're my family. The troll was surprised by this. Your family, you say? You better tell them to pay up 5 shillings as well, or I'll get all of them. And this goat wailed so loud it would shock anyone who heard it. You can't do this to me or my family. Greed? It's not good. You know what you're doing right now. Come back to bite you. It'll haunt you forever. Forget this, I'll pay you 15 shillings. No more, no less. Troll cracked his knuckles in his neck, ready to attack this innocent goat. No, my deal is sealed. You'll have tomorrow only to pay up. So the goat paid his 15 shillings, ate what little food he could afford, and went home, and wept. This information scared him to his very being, his very essence. 15 shillings? How could he ever afford that? That's when something hit that goat in the brain. He had a bright idea until the very next day. The goat, that wise old goat, returned to the bridge. His head was down in shame, in a bag full of so many shillings you wouldn't believe it. The troll went up to the goat and said, Well, looks like you finally gave in to my demands. You know, I'll just keep taking more money every day, and I'm only keeping you alive because you're finally useful for something in your life. Wow, that's pretty mean, isn't it? Well, that's why they call him a troll, isn't it? Where were we? And the goat said, No, this money was to tell you to leave. If you don't take this money now, you will regret it. My family... Ooh, don't know if we can say that one on Roblox. We have to skip that part. Troll was obviously not fooled by this. Well, so, let's rewind. The goat said that he's gonna put the troll to sleep. Don't know if we can have that on Roblox, but we'll find out, won't we? Troll was obviously not fooled by this and laughed at its face. You think your goat children are enough to destroy me. You are one silly goat. And with one punch, the goat was flung back into the meadow of dry, hayless fields. And this goat let out a cry at such frequency, all the other goats heard and came running along, all the goat, men, women, and children. And the troll looked at the children surrounding him, slightly panicked, outnumbered him, obviously stronger in numbers. And the troll got worried, started pleading for his life. Please, I'm sorry for what I done. You don't have to pay anymore. But it was too late. Not enough to convince those goats otherwise. And with one collective swing from the goats, the troll was no more. And that's it. That's the story. I hope this teaches you that greed is not good and to always be kind to others. The end. Well, let me know what you thought.
The slow death. Mad.
Okay, you found my code, and you are really bad at the game. Dweeb. Oh, you know, I don't really got anything else much to say. Wait, I got one. When next time you die, type in friend for a badge. Anyway, goodbye.
First. Madness. First. This. Destroyed. Frustrated.
Hello everyone, I'm here to ask if any of you have heard of this fantastic experience called Fantastic Frontier. It is truly one of the greatest experiences on this platform. However, I am not really here to talk about that. I am mainly here to talk about how Nullscape and Fantastic Frontier are very alike. So first off, let's begin with the horrors beyond human comprehensions that both games have. For example, in Fantastic Frontier we have a lot of these horrors beyond human comprehensions, and I'll list some of them for you. Tall Anthony, Esteemed Gumbo, Parasite, Mr. 58, Circus, Boomer, Spiker, Democan, The Shoed, which are some truly horrific looking enemies that traumatized me when I was younger. Where was I again? Oh right, so in Nullscape we also have some of these horrors beyond human comprehension, such as Baby, Voidbound Baby, Long Weekends, Voidbound Guardian, Skinwalker, and Flesh. As we can see, both these games feature very similar styles of enemies that are very scary and evil looking, that I will not show to a child ever, because that will traumatize them. Secondly, both games encourage the practice of AFKing. So let me explain. In Fantastic Frontier there exists this mechanic called the Deli, which allows the player to sit down at a table with up to 4 people, where they get to choose between a short wait time or a long wait time for different rewards, which basically lets the player AFK the game for rewards while music is playing. Now in Nullscape we have something extremely similar called the queue. The queue is something you can interact with when trying to join a lobby that is either full or in a round, which puts you, well, in a queue, and you have to wait for someone to leave or they finish the round, which can take a couple minutes, and it encourages you to AFK for a reward, just like Fantastic Frontier. In this case, the reward being joining the lobby and playing the game. Of course, that is not the only thing that makes the game very alike, which is where I get to my last point. The games operate on a very random update schedules. So let's start off with Nullscape this time. Patch 4, it took a couple months to make. Most of us remember that still, and people didn't mind the wait. At least to my knowledge, and the update in general was a pretty big one. And brought in many new players that got to experience the wait times between patch 4 and 5, where an update was said to come within a week, but we know what happened, it didn't happen. But that's fine, delays like this happen, so at first people were fine with it. Eventually time passed and the update was taking longer and longer, with not enough communication from the devs, so the players didn't know what will come, and yeah, it was pretty bad. People started getting disappointed or like concerned what was happening to the update. But eventually the update finally came out. Now in Fantastic Frontier, something very similar is currently happening on a much larger scale, so let's go back a little bit. Approximately 7 years ago, oh god, that's been a long while already. Anyway, we were getting progress updates on the new update that was supposed to come in like 6 years ago in 2020. However, days passed, soon weeks, eventually months, and now years have passed since this expected update. But on New Year's Eve 2025, we got a progress update, which stated that they had wished to get the update out in 2025, but unfortunately were unable to do so. This heavily implies that the update is almost finished and will soon release, and many people start getting the hopes up for the update. One such example of a user being very ecstatic about the new update is MARTWARRIMP, which in pure joy will join public servers in Fantastic Frontier and will spread messages mentioning how the update was soon, always claiming that it was tomorrow. Unfortunately, as time passed, this was not the case and the update was not released tomorrow. However, this does not discourage MARTWARRIMP, as they continue to join public servers and telling people that update is tomorrow. Unfortunately, the update never came tomorrow, so their hope eventually died down, and perhaps disappointment inside of him grew, and he stopped joining public servers and telling everyone that update was tomorrow. However, I still have a lot of hope in myself, and I personally believe that Fantastic Frontier will update next week, guys. With all of that said, this is why I believe Fantastic Frontier and Nullscape are very alike. And remember, the update is next week.
What? Did you expect anything else to occur? That was the last of the last. I'm sorry if this information is unfortunate to you. To be frankly honest, I wish we could have prolonged our time together. Anyways, viewer, you have my gratitude. Thank you for sticking with me until the very end. I'm uncertain if this is all the known codes. So in the case that one went unnoticed, tell me down in the comments of this video. I'll point it out in a pinned comment, as well as shout out the individual in the description of this video. Thank you for watching.